Investing money can be a pretty big risk, but there are experts whose advice can save you from putting your money down the drain. Here are some of Ben Stein's tips for bulletproof investing. Number 5, build a well performing portfolio. When it comes to investing money, a lot of people have fallen prey to scams, and some have successfully managed to multiply their investments. How do you make sure you fall in the latter half and not the people who succumbed to scams and ended up losing their money? Well, one thing that Ben Stein identified when writing one of his books on investing was that when people are nearing retirement and want to invest their money in stocks, they end up buying only one stock. According to Ben Stein, buying one stock isn't a good idea, and if you really want to multiply your investments, you should definitely buy a multitude of stocks so you have a diversified portfolio and multiple options of stocks that are performing well. What this does is minimize your risk, and even if one or two of the stocks in your portfolio fail, others will save your money and increase in value. But what stocks should you invest in? When you're buying a stock, make sure you do your research beforehand and put your money in a stock that yields high results. But firstly, before you start going around throwing your money in the stock market, make sure you've cleared yourself of any and all existing debts and then use the remaining cash to invest in your future. Well, before we get into more details about Ben Stein's tips for bulletproof investing, if you're liking our content so far, then do be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you also subscribe to our channel so you can stay updated about how to make the most out of your finances and invest your money wisely. Turn on the notifications button so you can be notified every time we post a new video. Number 4, when to buy. Buying the right stock isn't the only thing you need to know about buying stocks. When you should buy that particular stock is also equally important. According to Ben Stein and many other financial experts, if you're planning to buy a stock, you should always invest in it when there's always a lot of pessimism and skepticism in the market. You should buy stocks when the stock market is taking a hit and there's a lot of disturbance, but before you do this, you also need to identify what your investment duration is. If you're someone who has a long-term goal in mind and doesn't mind spending their bucks on something that might not yield results immediately, then you should buy when the stock market is crashing. What this will do is that it will enable you to buy stocks at a much lower price than you would have to pay normally. While the stock market will seem unstable at that moment, it will obviously go back up, and this is where the deficit between the price you paid for the stock and the selling price will really be high, thus yielding even higher results than expected. Number 3, index funds. There might be times when some stock will take an upward hit and it will be very tempting to buy that stock. Even Ben Stein, a financial expert, fell into the trap of investing a huge chunk of his money in a stock that was yielding magnanimous profits. Back in 2000, Ben Stein ended up investing his savings in a stock that earned him an insane amount of money. However, it wasn't long until the stock started crashing and he ended up losing a ton of money too. You might be thinking that greed could be something that led to his downfall, but in all honesty, you never know when stocks that are experiencing an artificial boom will take a hit. Learning from his lessons and making sure to never make the same mistake again, Ben Stein decided to step away from this and has since then been investing more actively in index funds. According to Ben Stein, investing in index funds is a lot less risky, and according to him, people should never invest in individual stocks until they're willing to bear the losses. Number 2, don't go by Cosmo-style quizzes. We've all read Cosmopolitan and have seen the quizzes that are placed in it. While the quizzes might seem tempting, we all attempt them to see what our personality is like and what fits us the most, but making decisions as serious as to invest your money shouldn't be made through quizzes in Cosmopolitan. The result of the quizzes might have a very close reflection of what your personality is like, but investing money is a lot more complicated than figuring out what stocks match your personality. Number 1, traditional investing. Rather than spending your money and investing in stocks that Cosmopolitan suggests you to go for, it's a much better option to go with the traditional investment approach. It's better if you set your goals, invest your money, and hold the stocks that you've invested in. Don't try to be a day breaker and buy stocks and sell them the minute they take an upward hit. try to keep your stock for some time and see how it's performing. If you sell your stock immediately, there's a high chance you'll end up losing a higher profit. When investing your money, set your goals, diversify your portfolio so you can minimize your risks, don't overcomplicate things for yourself, and make sure you're investing in high-yielding stocks if you want to make the most out of your money.